Oh, hello. Welcome to the Death Battle Cast. We're back, baby. I said that like we've been gone for a while. I guess Chad's been gone for a little bit.
Time.
Who is that mysterious man over there with the bearded Pikachu in the back?
No, I can't even make me go get it.
Well, it looks very strange.
It's capybara Pikachu that I won from a claw machine. Yeah, it's very cute. Probably
it's
not
like
licensed at all.
It doesn't. Look
Its face is like a whole flat 90 degrees. I don't know how I feel about that.
It looks like he was eating poo, and there's just like a poo sort of.
Well, thanks for ruining it for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mud pie.
Well, some people in the Pokemon world do put a certain Pokemon's poo in their pants to stay warm. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. It's Darumaka. For anyone's curious.
I mean, that's a whole. Anyway, hey, I'm Ben. Chad's here, Liam's here, Jacob's here. We're going to be talking about Pokemon because today we have a matchup I think we've kind of talked about potentially doing for a long time now, which is Mewtwo versus Greymon. Pokemon versus Digimon, the classic. And hey, the way Death Battle Cast works is Liam is going to be representing Black Greymon. Jacob's going to be representing Mewtwo. And yeah, surprise, hope you're ready, Liam. And it's going to be their job to convince all of us, including you, that their character should win in a death battle. And at the end of the show, we do this live every Tuesday at noon Central Time. You all will be able to vote on who you think should win based on their arguments, or, based on which one you think is cooler. I suppose that also is perfectly valid.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. This is very much the battle of monsters who question, what am I fighting for?
What does it all mean?
Very much
What is my existence?
Yeah.
Am I really designed to sell toys?
That's the
truth.
That's dark. They're both about questioning their existence, but in reality, their existence is to sell fucking toys.
They're really
dark.
Up Toy Story.
That would have been such a crazy twist. I could totally see that coming up in a Digimon series, right? Like Black Greymon, like
real world.
Yeah, he transcends and realizes that he's in a TV show.
Yeah. He gets onto the internet and figures it all out.
And he's gonna destroy the world as an act of rebellion against his creators. Yeah, that's
the digital world. It's a digital world, right? It's basically the story of Digimon is that I can't remember the guy's name, but some guy invented the internet. There were monsters in it. So
kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
As I'm gathering, that's the we'll get into it more.
Theoretically, there could be a version. I could totally see a story of Digimon where it's revealed partway through that they can like access the real life internet, and Black Greymon goes, "No, how many toys have I sold?" That becomes
that's
like
his first thought. How many? It's like he's just curious how well he did,
because it's his purpose now. Like, did he succeed in his purpose? Anyway, if you don't know anything about Black Greymon, we'll be getting into it. I'm very excited for this one.
Yeah. Some quick things. Joe, so Fireside Chat is next week, right? Yep. Thanks for always checking in, Joe. We appreciate it. No one beat you that time. You did it.
You got it. Oh my God, we have a bunch of super chats. What the heck's going on?
Kino said, not the strangest Pikachu I've seen with Chad. Actually, Jacob hasn't seen that yet, and I'm going to show him in Champion Cast. I've got it right here.
Oh dang, I missed it again.
It is the most terrifying thing. Yeah, we'll show that during Champion Cast.
Yeah, Katie says, just want to say someone's played a lot of RE Requiem this weekend. Yeah, Jason would have gotten stomped by Leon.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody's been playing that. And then 10 Tails with $100 super chat. Thank you, 10 Tails. Says, back to Pokemon versus Digimon. Curious that I know nothing about Digimon, but for some reason, I know they win most of the Pokemon verse. May I know what type of connection they might have in common? By the way, I can't wait to see Cell versus Metal Sonic. You guys might see a little bit of that today.
Yeah, we got a sneak peek coming up for that. And also, in terms of like the Pokemon versus Digimon comparison, obviously, we did sort of a Pokemon versus Digimon like overview years ago that used Charizard and Greymon as sort of representatives. And Greymon is incredibly powerful. but Mewtwo is sort of the original legendary Pokemon, right? Like he's the guy. So I have a feeling out of all the Pokemon Digimon matchups, this is one of them that's going to be maybe one of the closest, but we'll see.
Mewtwo is definitely a lot stronger than Charizard. I don't know Pokemon scaling,
like
but I'm
by a
very
fair,
certain
like
of that.
a small bit, maybe a little bit.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I think it's going to come.
That
It's
was
going to be
an argument
less
helping you, but
strength
okay.
and more
No, it's
all these
right.
ridiculous psychic powers, like mind control and things like that. But anyway,
Mike, I guessed it up their special one membership. It went to Faye Andretti. Yeah, thank you, Night Ghost. All right, I'll save the rest of it for later.
All right. Well, then let's get into this. We can start with our boy Mewtwo. You know, start with the one that I feel like probably most people are familiar with, and then we'll get into the weirdness and uncomfortableness that is Black War Greymon. Jacob, let's what are we dealing with Mewtwo? Give us the intro.
We are dealing with a ton for Mewtwo. Mewtwo, being the poster boy for legendary Pokemon across the entire Pokemon series, has also been given so many different powers and abilities, which is his most notable thing. Not only does he have mind control, memory stuff, he has a bunch of other Pokemon attacks too, because RPG nonsense. These moves can let him swap stat changes, let him manipulate how his opponent uses his moves. He can manipulate the weather. He can petrify people. A crap load of other things that I'll get into later in the cast because I'm not shooting my shot all the way here right now. But also, a very important factor for this fight is that Mewtwo does have the powers and speed to be able to keep up with Black War Greymon and be able to get off all his abilities to net a win in here. I'm sending my shot. That's it.
All right.
Those are always like the worst minute of my life. It's just like, oh shoot, I didn't prepare anything for how I should organize it.
Yeah, but you guys know Mewtwo, genetically engineered super Pokemon with psychic powers. All right, but
if you don't know Mewtwo's origin story by now, you've never seen any Pokemon movie ever because they've done it like 100 times.
It's basically every other legendary Pokemon is Mewtwo again. All right, Liam. Let's talk about not War Greymon.
Not War
Black
Greymon.
War Greymon.
Black War Greymon. So Black War Greymon was created by Arukenimon. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. To be a fucking weapon of destruction and the ultimate like being of darkness. He was too successful, or she was, or whoever was too successful in creating Black War Greymon, because Black War Greymon was so strong that they had a consciousness. I guess he's a he. He had a consciousness that prized power and strength over everything else. And so when Arukenimon was like, "Go kill those assholes," Black War Greymon was like, "You're weak. Fuck you." And he was like, "But I don't know what my purpose is." Then he flew away and had a big tantrum and just was kicking everybody's asses, and eventually was like, "Oh, I learned to be good and sacrifice myself," and he sacrifices himself in the end for some bullshit. But the point of Black War Greymon is that he is an absurdly powerful Digimon. He is capable of fighting the strongest. He is a mega Digimon, which is the same thing as like a perfect or ultimate. I believe one of the strongest like tier of Digimon. He is just one of the strongest beings in Digimon Adventures. Scales to the strongest characters in that series. Is insanely powerful. And is a dark type. Just want to throw that one out there, just to initially.
Is a dark type.
He is not just a dark type. He is a like super omega dark type. Like he has a special power that makes him like super dark type. Also, he absolutely shits on Mewtwo.
Wait, hang on. What do you mean by dark type in Digimon? Because he's a dragon. He's a dragonkin.
Yeah, he's a dragon man.
Right?
Yeah, he's draconic, but he's also a dark type. Like they have a dark typing in Digimon. And he has the power of darkness, which makes him extra super dark type. And is significantly stronger and faster than Mewtwo. You could hear Jacob starting to preempt that argument desperately. I don't think that there's any. I think at best you're gonna have Mewtwo be like somewhat comparable. It's not. Digimon is significantly stronger than Pokemon. Yeah.
I'm not so sure about the dark typing
Yeah,
aspect, but we'll get
Also,
more into it.
I want to throw this out there before like Liam takes this and rolls with it for like half an hour without me being able to say anything. The dark typing means Jack. Mewtwo has Miracle Eye, a move that allows his psychic powers to work on dark types. He can also transform into Mega Mewtwo X, who is not weak to dark types. So, fuck you, Liam.
Incredible.
Well, okay, Dude Blade X just posted a super chat that with a very important question that I do think we need to figure out right off the bat,
Yep.
or at least introduce, which is this going to be games Mewtwo or anime Mewtwo? Unless you have a different opinion on this, Jacob, I do feel like since we are probably focusing almost exclusively on Black War Greymon from the anime, we should probably focus on the like anime Mewtwo, who I know is kind of weird because there's like another anime Mewtwo, even though it's sort of supposed to be the same. But I do think because Black War Greymon is a War Greymon, that you know it's basically builds off the existing monster. The same can be said for Mewtwo as well.
That would probably hurt Mewtwo, I think, in the argument because he needs Rainbow Rocket to make this like a debate. So I would say that you prioritize the anime or the anime versions of both characters, but allow like game stuff to sort of inform that.
Yeah, build off of the games basically.
Yeah.
Because again, War Greymon is an existing monster that Black War Greymon is just building off of. You can say the same thing for anime Mewtwo building off of the game Mewtwo. That's kind of my thinking, but what do you think, Jacob?
Plus, I think I agree with all that. Plus, I think it's just more fun. Mewtwo is an RPG character. People kind of expect a lot of wacky powers, and just sticking to the anime kind of limits it. I think like the anime Mewtwo only has like 6 Pokemon moves total.
Well, theoretically, he has more. We just don't see it.
Yeah, theoretically, it's just a matter of do we know what those are? But yeah, I like sticking with like a bunch of stuff from Mewtwo, just adding on to.
Is the Mewtwo in the Genesect movie supposed? I think it's Genesect. Supposed to be the same Mewtwo from the previous movies?
No, that's an entirely different one. I think it was supposed to, but I think they had some copyright stuff happen, so they made it.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So and then to make it distinct, they gave it the more feminine voice.
Right. So in Pokemon anime canon, there were 2 Mewtwo's created with the exact same backstory and reasoning for being created, but then completely independent of each other.
Yeah, or just one didn't have like Amber or whatever, which was the
Okay.
I forgot what that one's whole deal is.
So one, because I guess she does fight to protect Pokemon the same way that the original one eventually, because they're basically serve the same role. They're basically the same character, except one I guess had a slightly less traumatic past.
Yeah, that one didn't trust humans at the end because Ash Ketchum magic. She ends up being like, humans are pretty okay at the end of it, but yeah, she was always like kind of like there. I'm there to protect the Pokemon,
So back, you did say Arcanamon correctly, but Horatio with the super chat says Arcanamon is actually a mistranslation of Arachnamon. So,
that makes a lot more sense because she's a spider.
It's the spider monster. Yeah.
Arucanamon.
I don't even remember her being called Arucanamon. That's such a strange
they not
word.
See the spider thing and went, oh, they probably meant
Arachnamon.
I was like, I didn't know which Digimon that was. So I was like, what could it be? And now I can just so vividly imagine it just by the name alone.
Yeah. But yeah, she's spinning a web, right? And Black War Greymon is part of the web, and then he breaks free. Okay, so let's get into what they're actually going to be bringing to this fight. So starting with Mewtwo, you did mention one of his abilities, but like let's get into like what does Mewtwo have that's going to prove to be useful against Black War Greymon?
The big thing is just being able to at least contend in power and speed through what Liam mentioned before, Team Rainbow Rocket, which is basically an organization in Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon of all the previous team leaders of Team Rocket, of the evil organizations across the entire franchise, forming under an organization under Giovanni, who has Mewtwo in this game, which includes Cyrus from Pokemon Platinum, Diamond Pearl, who has Dialga and Palkia, and Dialga Palkia are the ones who helped create time and space. I forgot what order I said, respectively. I'll just gamble with that. Across the entire Pokemon multiverse. And the Pokemon multiverse is pretty big. There's a lot of things contained with it. He would also scale through in this way through the Pokemon anime, actually, too, because Mewtwo does appear in Pokemon Journeys, and he kind of just bodies Ash at some point. Bodies Pikachu, bodies, I think, is Lucario. And this was after Ash had clashed with Dialga in the Sinnoh anime. So he would upscale from that. Otherwise, besides power,
I was more so asking, what's he gonna be doing? You know, like what kind of moves actually work on Black Greymon?
Yeah, no. So as I mentioned, Miracle Eye would prevent any Dark type shenanigans from being a non-issue. Being able to Mega Evolve into two distinct forms. One granting him more favoring projectiles, the other more physical combat. The one that's more physical combat, which is Mega Mewtwo X, would resist Dark type moves a lot better. Abilities wise. Which I think are really gonna screw over Black Greymon, is the fact that he has full mental control over Black Greymon just from the start of the match, and he'll know everything Black Greymon can do, the flying brick that he is with a shield, just by reading his mind. Because after in the Genesect movie, Mewtwo reads the entire history of the Genesect in the movie within just a few moments. So not only is he knowing everything he can do, but in the first movie, as we see, we know that he can control minds and erase memories. If I just don't know what Black Greimon's gonna do if, like, just one thought in
coming for the
head,
brain,
and then Black Greymon doesn't even know who he's fucking fighting anymore, and then just gets caught off guard and dies and doesn't even know who he is anymore.
We're gonna
I
mention
never
in
thought
chat.
about that. God, I'm in a debate against Mewtwo, and I never thought that Mewtwo can wait. He can read and control.
I know,
minds?
right? It's like
Oh
a
my
subtle detail
God.
that not many people talk
I never
about.
thought about that. Shit, that really counters everything that I had written here. Keep going.
No,
Arena in chat mentions
you can go.
therapy also. If Mewtwo can do therapy, then Mewtwo wins. So we'll have to figure out if anything Mewtwo has can translate to therapy. But keep going, Liam. Are you immediately admitting defeat? Is that what you're doing? Like, is it over?
Yeah.
Like,
No,
Mewtwo just mind controls Greymon?
No, Digimon passively resist mind control. They're
That's
made
bullshit.
of data, and can passively resist mind control from anything less powerful than them. Example from the anime or from the games is the evil rings, which can control things. Essentially, data in the Digimon universe is what makes up like matter and energy, and including your soul and your mind. It makes up every kind of aspect of them, and because of that, they can resist mind control. You would need to be more powerful than Black Greymon to be able to apply like mind control effects onto him, or any sort of stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how powerful Black Greymon is then.
Yeah. Well, we can talk. I can start with power, but I think I'll probably start with abilities. Just
Sure.
to build up what I can. Yeah, okay, so they're made of data. Data is matter, it's energy, it's your mind, it's your soul. They can turn invisible if they want to. They can perceive hidden things. Kind of think about like Neo in the Matrix, like seeing the ones and zeros of everything. That's kind of like what Digimon are like in terms of their like relationship with data. That's literally what it is. It's ones and zeros. They can absorb the data of defeated foes, which is sort of like a game mechanic, like learning moves and stuff like that. They can just copy abilities just by like observation or by absorbing the data of foes. One really important thing is that the way that they do damage is by destroying characters at the quantum level, right? Because the ones and zeros are even more fundamental than like atoms. They are what make up atoms. So when they defeat an opponent, you'll see like the effect of them kind of like bursting into like dust. It's them being destroyed at the quantum level. They do not. That is not just a passive effect of them having defeated an opponent, i.e., not relevant to a fight because he'd have to beat Mewtwo first. Their attacks themselves do that kind of damage. It's not something that Mewtwo, I believe, can regenerate from. They themselves can regenerate. their bodies are made of like a digital wireframe. As long as the digicore at the center of their being is unharmed, their wireframe can regenerate from damage. So it's like their physical body can regenerate. They have a resistance to mind and soul manipulation via their wireframe, existence erasure and deletion. That's essentially what they're battling. Like all of the attacks do like existence erasure stuff, like with the quantum destruction I mentioned earlier. So just being able to like survive attacks from each other means that they can resist that to a degree. They can resist data corruption, stuff that would like depower them or fuck with their like their kind of essence. And obviously attacks that do like biological damage, like poisoning, don't have an effect on them because they're not, biological, right? That's just Digimon like in general. Obviously, the more powerful you are, the better of an effect that stuff has, and the better your resistances are. But they have like they can also Black War Greymon can also fly. Black War Greymon and Mega Digimon in general, this is like a surprisingly consistent thing I found, is so powerful that they just passively distort space and time. Like they mention like, oh my god, Black War Greymon's here because like the entire area around us is like spatially fucked up. Like we know that he was just here. This is consistent. Like there was another example of a Mega Digimon that was able to like just open up a portal from the digital to the human world just like by existing. Like they're the point of Mega Digimon is that they're like really, really crazy powerful. And they have so many fucking feats kind of that like reinforce that. But specifically, Black War Greymon has the ability, his most famous ability is Dark Gaia Force, which is just the dark version of War Greymon's big like spirit bomb. But it's a dark spirit bomb.
Because of course.
He has Black Tornado, which is where he spins with his Greymon destroyers and just pierces through anything. The Greymon destroyers, by the way, are those big claws that are super effective against draconic enemies. Doesn't really matter against Mewtwo.
I was gonna say I don't remember this psychic cat being a dragon. That's new to me.
Yeah, no. So he has a bunch of like fire attacks that can like cause fire to like blow out of the ground and rain meteors down from the sky and create these humongous storms. His big thing is darkness manipulation. He can shoot like balls of darkness. He can like create big clouds of darkness that inflict confusion or rage on opponents or reduce character speeds or turn characters against each other. His status as like a darkness being, power of darkness, makes him super aligned with dark typing just in general. There was some talk about like, is darkness the same in Pokemon as it is in Digimon? I think there's a lot of similarities. The difference, and I don't know if this is the case in Pokemon, but the difference is that darkness in Digimon is like nothingness. It's like the lack of existence. So like darkness as an attack erases stuff from existence. It sort of like rots away reality. It also feeds off and empowers negative emotions, which I think is more keeping in line with Pokemon's darkness. It can also poison things.
Liam, watch your mic. It looks like it's not pointed at you, and it keeps.
Okay,
we're hearing that you sound a little quiet. Remember, this is a mic that you need to put like right up to your mouth. Okay. So darkness in Pokemon is literally evil. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's
so
like
it's a little
bad
different.
Thoughts, like actual like pure darkness.
That's effectively the same thing in Digimon.
Well, so okay. Touching on those elements here, is it because nothingness in Digimon? It's important to remember that this is a digital world that we're talking about. Mm-hmm. Like the final boss of the very first season of Digimon is effectively the recycle bin. Right, like that's the ultimate villain of Digimon Adventure 1. So when Black War Greymon is manipulating space, I'm pretty sure it's the digital space because he's a digital anomaly, like he's a virus, right?
He is a virus.
And so I don't know if that would necessarily translate to against Mewtwo, right? I don't know. I don't remember if Black War Greymon ever comes to the real world.
The characters at mega level Digimon, their attacks have threatened the human world and the digital world. Like they are capable of interacting with the human world and destroying it. I assume that we're treating like data, and there might be like, I'm sure in Digimon there's a time when like the Digimon go to the real world and they're like characters. I'm assuming for the fight that we're sort of somewhat equalizing data and just enough to like have Mewtwo be able to interact with Black War Greymon.
Sure.
But keeping in mind, sort of, like,
More
those
so what I mean
generations-
is because yes, in Adventure 1, what the fuck is the vampire? Myotismon? Is that his name? The
Yes,
vampire
yes.
Digimon comes to the real world and like just fucks everything up. And powers do work there, but I'm pretty sure like death works differently. Because if you die in the digital world, you become if you're a Digimon, you become an egg. Right, you are reborn. But I do not believe that happens in the real world.
Sure.
So
Chat is saying Black War Greymon has come to the real world.
okay. Which also comes back to the idea that like you mentioned something that like Black War Greymons resisting attacks that erase from reality, but I don't believe that's if I recall correctly in Digimon,
Isn't that just them
if
being
the
deleted?
Digimon dies, they just get reset. They go back to becoming an egg. So I don't like he's not constantly, I don't know, chat. Maybe I'm misremembering, but I don't believe
Mewtwo doesn't come back as an egg. When Mewtwo is destroyed at the quantum level, he fucking dies.
Okay, so
I
you're saying that
believe
it is a
like,
quantum level thing, but because of the way Digimon work, it is resisting that. Okay.
I think so. It's
Gotcha.
reducing you to ones and zeros, right? But they're
Right.
made of ones and zeros, so it's not.
I don't know
like,
if like punting
Dark-
that
I
like any little Digimon is going to be impossible for someone as strong as Mewtwo just because of this quantum shenanigans. I don't buy it, Liam.
Gilda, thanks for
okay.
giving 5 memberships.
Yeah, thank you. We've got a bunch of super chats.
Yeah, I've been logging them.
Yeah. Let's are there any that you want to cover real quick, Chad?
Sure. Well, first of all, Luna and Pals, it's their birthday. And so they said, Metal
birthday.
Sonic is one of my favorite characters ever. I'm so excited for Sunday. Well, happy birthday, Luna and Pals.
Stick around. We'll have a sneak peek for Cell Metal Sonic in just a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Michael says, all I know about Black War Greymon was he heroically sacrificed himself to help the heroes, but it screwed over the heroes because it meant they couldn't enter the digital world. Well, bummer.
Chad knows what that means.
Yeah, sure. The Falcos was saying for the Mewtwo conversation earlier, technically Mewtwo's genderless, like all legendaries, and only really talks to telekinesis, so it can change its voice if it wanted to.
So maybe that Genesect movie Mewtwo is the same one, but they're just he's just pretending that he's
He
different.
just fabricated an entire backstory.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. It's like this is the new me, right? I have to embody the new me.
Yeah. Santiago, nice try. That's why we have a suggestion for him, but thank you for the super chat. Frankie says, okay, talking about Black War Greymon, says he was able to fight both War Greymon and Imperial Dramon fighter mode. Black War Greymon has Draymon killers, which would have given him an advantage over Imperial Draymon fighter mode. I don't know what the hell that means.
Draymon killers are like the
Those
gauntlet
certainly were
things.
words I understood.
Well,
He's got the
War
gauntlets with like
Greymon-
the claws. It's the Draymon killers.
Yeah.
I believe.
War Greymon also had Draymon destroyers, so I figured for that fight that they were. He was getting Black War Greymon was getting 2v1'd by War Greymon and Imperial Draymon. Fighter mode. But War Greymon had Draymon destroyers as well, so I figured that idea just sort of evened out.
Counters itself because the Draymon destroyers.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
any damage that he's doing to like one of them, he's also getting from War Greymon, so it's not really like a major factor.
I don't think the
I believe he lost that fight,
Digimon
but it's 'cause he was
anime.
being 2v1'd.
Yeah, I don't think the Digimon anime really puts much emphasis on like type, like interaction, either. I don't recall that ever being like a big thing.
I think overall, besides like maybe like the Terra Destroyer types aren't really going to play a factor too much in this.
Yeah, I mean they're very distinctly different types of monsters, right? So okay, well we've talked a lot about Greymon.
Everyone's saying we should just call them the Charizard killers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Mewtwo for a bit. And get into
Madagascar's sick today. Sorry, Madagascar. Hope you feel better. They sent a super chat.
Buddy, yeah. So let's before we get to some other stuff, let's cover a little bit about like what does Mewtwo bring to the table that will kind of like level him up compared to what we just talked about for Black War Greymon.
Well, a big point of discussion I want to talk about is the fact that Mewtwo's mind hacks should, by all means, work on Blackboard Greymon. There have been several occasions in Digimon where the characters in it get absolutely screwed over by mind hacks. Blackboard Greymon himself has never been shown to resist mind hacks. Anyone who has resisted mind hacks has been strictly stronger than him or has had specific circumstances to prevent it. And Agumon line characters, which Blackboard Greymon is a variant of, have been affected by mind control before, including that evil rings I think you mentioned, Liam. So there is no excuse for why Blackboard Greymon wouldn't immediately get absolutely bodied by mind control. But even besides
Those
that,
were upgraded versions of the evil rings, by the way. They upgraded them to be able to then mind control them. Again, it's a power thing.
yeah, that's cool and all, but Mewtwo's mind stuff works on characters who can already resist mind control, specifically from Malamar, who is in the Pokedex stated to have the strongest hypnotic powers of all Pokemon. So there's definitely a layering to that. That Mewtwo's is just superior, even across like the Pokedex saying that. So by all accounts, should still work on Blackboard Greymon just right off the bat. Especially with all the evidence in Digimon showing things getting affected by mind control, even beyond the evil rings.
But outside the mind stuff, what we got? We got like the dark ball attack or whatever.
Yeah, we got yeah. So ignoring the fact that he's just kind of a flying brick that like occasionally shoots an energy projectile, Mewtwo like eats that for breakfast just based on the Pokemon abilities he has, like, and just like psychic abilities he has, because in the first movie, just passively, his psychic powers nullified all the powers of the Pokemon in the entire arena they were fighting in. So goodbye Terra Destroyer, goodbye Black Tornado, and when it comes to Black or Greymon's equipment, there's this awesome move called Magic Room, which nullifies the equipment of anyone within the Magic Room. There's other Pokemon moves that mess with items, so he's kind of just going to be sitting there and taking stuff and being unable to attack back because of Mewtwo's abilities, nullifying powers and equipment. Besides that, he's also have ways to remove Blackrock Greymon from the field outright. He doesn't necessarily need to destroy him at the quantum level or even just incapacitate him in other ways, because in Pokemon Ranger Guardian Signs and Pokken Tournament for his super move, he's able to just trap people in an alternate dimension. Yeah, just casually. Just restraining Blackrock Greymon with telekinesis and just sending him into another dimension. Seems like a pretty easy win con, all things considered. The Void. He's got ways to put him to sleep. He's got ways to prevent status effects that Liam mentioned before. I think he mentioned like confusion and was it like emotional stuff? I forget. Yeah, like a rage type of thing. Yeah. The Berserk gene in Mewtwo's body like inherently makes you go berserk, and obviously he's just resisting that 24/7. In Pokemon Gold and Crystal and Silver, when you have the Berserk gene on a Pokemon, it just confuses them right away indefinitely. Mewtwo has that in his body at all times, so he's totally fine from that. I'm trying to think of more things off the top of my head. Let's see. Oh, yeah, petrification. He's got many ways of creating after images that would trick Blackrock Greymon, especially because, as I mentioned before, illusions and stuff in Digimon have affected characters before. You would have to prove that Blackrock Greymon himself can best with that. He can manipulate your soul. In Pokken Tournament, as Shadow Mewtwo, he was able to stop and reverse time. There's just so many abilities Mewtwo has that Blackrock Greymon just wouldn't be able to deal with inherently because he is a flying brick.
So question, so the magic room thing that you're talking about, was your argument there basically that because Blackrock Greymon is like part machine, the machine parts wouldn't work in magic room?
Maybe you could argue that. I was more so thinking of the Greymon killers and the shield he has on his back. He would just be like, "Oh, I don't know how to use these anymore." Basically,
I'll say for that, for the kind of power nullification arguments that you brought up, part of being there are enemies in the Digimon, one of the Digimon games called Eaters, which are able to corrupt data and actually nullify the powers of Digimon. And your team can resist that passively, like if you're strong enough. So again, it's a data resistance thing that would not affect Black or Greymon, unless Mewtwo was like significantly more powerful. Again, and
it
also
feels like that's what a lot of this is going to come down to, right? Like Mewtwo has a lot of different ways to potentially put down War Greymon. Mewtwo just has all the powers that he needs to do this, right? But this could theoretically only really apply if Mewtwo can actually overpower Black War Greymon. And if Mewtwo can't, then most, if not all of this is just not going to affect him. So I think we will need to really get into discussing who actually has the power, like advantage here. So let's get into that right after we do our sponsor for today, which is Hero Forge. Hero Forge is back sponsoring us, which is awesome. Hero Forge, if you don't know what Hero Forge is the greatest character creator tool ever made. And that is not hyperbole. So here's the quick pitch. With Hero Forge, you can design your own custom miniatures and dice right in the browser, choosing from dozens of fantasy species and thousands of weapons, outfits, and parts. Then you can get the actual physical miniature of the character that you created, either ordered by mail or 3D printed at home. And if you're not into painting or shading your minis, you can do all of that in Hero Forge itself, which means the minis that you get in the mail are fully custom made with a custom pose and custom colors, all designed by you. Like this little guy. It's a whiz. I made this in Hero Forge and had it mailed to me easily. He's great. I love him. He's a little, you saw an image come up earlier as well. Yeah, it's awesome. Like I've been using Hero Forge for years, well before they started sponsoring us. So when Hero Forge popped up as a sponsor and they were interested in sponsoring us, I was like, absolutely, please, yes. Because it's such an awesome website and it's been going on. They've been working on it for a long time now. I think like 7 or 8 years or maybe longer. And literally, if you just go to heroforge.com, the character creation thing is like the first thing you'll see. You can immediately jump in. It is so much fun, even without like an account or anything. You can just give it a try. It's awesome. They have so many options imaginable. It's also not just like fantasy based, obviously, given my little whiz guy has a robot arm, right? I don't know. It's a little hard to see there.
My little whiz guy.
Yeah. You can make sci-fi characters, modern characters, weird West characters, whatever, you name it. They're constantly expanding their catalog of customizable options, adding new parts every week. And you can also make, and this is a relatively new thing, I think they've had it for like a year or two at this point, you can make custom dice where you can embed anything from Hero Forge inside the die itself, scaled, rotated, and perfectly placed, like this one. There's a little ghost cowboy in there. I don't know if you can see it very well, but it looks awesome in person. And basically, like if you want a D20 that's like, you know, tied to your new half orc wizard or something like that, you can just straight up put their face inside the die, or maybe like their owl familiar or something like that. It's up to you. So use code DBC to get 5% off all orders of physical miniatures. Not combinable with other sales or promotions. Visit heroforge.com to start designing your own custom miniature and dice today, and check back often. New content is added every week. Thank you, Hero Forge. It's really awesome. You guys should go check it out. Again, if you just like click the link below or type heroforge.com into a browser, you immediately go to the character creation like tool and you can just start making a character immediately. Yeah. It's so cool. Yeah, which is awesome. Well, Gaming in Britannia asks, will we see any of your custom dice in an episode on the Nightly Brew? That would be pretty awesome, right? So if you guys aren't familiar with it, we have a pretty new channel. It's like a tabletop gaming channel, essentially, called The Nightly Brew. We actually just released a brand new D&D / Shadowdark episode on The Nightly Brew. It's our finale to our Tomb of Horrors dungeon crawl. It's the Tomb of Horrors is basically like the most infamous D&D dungeon of all time because it's supposed to be like incredibly hard, incredibly challenging.
We were crushing it. We were doing so good. We get to this one fucking room, and you will see a just slow descent into madness from us. God,
you can see me getting sad in real time.
Like at one point, I'm just like,
just smile fading.
Yeah. They were in one room in this it's a 30 30-something
thrown.
room dungeon. They were in one room for over 3 hours.
It's cut down, so you don't have to go through that. You just
No.
get to see the funny parts.
Yeah.
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 But it was
I painstakingly cut down. Oh, what would it have been? Because we did 4 sessions, 12 plus hours of 10 to 12 hours into 3 2-hour videos. So you can go check that out. I'm curious if anybody who's seen those would like to see, like, we were talking about maybe doing a live stream going over some of the dungeon with the players, because they obviously didn't figure everything out or see every room, and some of the puzzles in the dungeon are just like weird. So we might do a live stream on Nightly Brew at sometime soon, where I just kind of run through the dungeon with the players and be like, so this like weird gate or this weird like puzzle that you guys couldn't figure out. Here's why you couldn't figure out. It makes no fucking sense, because there's a lot of that in the dungeon. It's very fun. So yeah, go ahead and check out that if you haven't. And hey, Hero Forge, if you're still listening, go check that out. Maybe you guys will like that. But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to use Hero Forge on Nightly Brew for sure, because I want to do more like D&D style streams and stuff on that.
Yeah, it would be awesome.
We do other stuff like Blood on the Clock Tower. We just released like a coup video. We got like some other stuff coming up. We're doing all sorts of stuff there. Okay, anyway, I don't want to get too bogged down to like talking about Nightly Brew, but we're just very excited about that channel. It's very fun.
A lot of fun.
Speaking of other things that we're doing, we didn't mention this. So thanks to Joe and Chad, of course, mentioning that next week we do have our Fireside Chat, which is our members only YouTube channel members only live stream, where we just kind of hang out with you guys for like an hour or two. But speaking of members, we do have Ballot Banter tomorrow. That's live on Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central. There's also something coming up for members of the website, deathbattle.gg. We have the storyboards for Ichigo versus Yusuke coming up on there. So if you're on deathbattle.gg, you can check out the storyboards pretty soon. There's also some merch on there. That's where you get like Death Battle shirts and things like that.
Yeah, we got a brand new. We found the original file that I made 1,000,000 years ago of the first Death Battle T-shirt, and I was like, "Oh, that'll be fun. Let's make a retro tee." And so you can go get the logo. The retro logo that now is on a much higher quality T-shirt. I have to say,
yeah, the OG Death Battle logo from the original like chain look, right? The like really hardcore
fights and blood and
the Mortal Kombat inspired, obviously, version of the Death Battle logo.
Yeah, Char has just gifted out 10 memberships. So great, y'all can join us for Fireside Chat tomorrow and check out all the other membership content that you can now go watch. Thank you, Char.
Yeah.
All right.
Heck yeah. All right. Let's get into.
Oh, sorry. Right before you do, this is relevant because you talked about Joe bringing up Fireside Chat. Joe did have a super chat saying, I have to say, I've been reminding you about the Fireside Chats for so long. Does that make me an honorary member of the team? And if so, do I get paid?
First question, sure. Second
it makes
question.
You appreciated.
Nah, man. Volunteer work. That's what we rely on.
In fact, he pays us to remind us.
As a member. Oh, dude, Joe, man, I really wish YouTube had like a system. YouTube's membership system doesn't have like a feature where you can control who you gift memberships to, right? It's just kind of random, unfortunately. If there was a way to do it, I would absolutely do that right now. Where you go. Man, hopefully someday in the future they add more functionality to that on YouTube. Okay, let's get into this. Power differences between Mewtwo and Black Greymon. We kind of touched a little bit on this early on. So Jacob, if you want to kind of get into, you were talking about like Team Rainbow Rocket and Palkia and things like that. Does Mewtwo actually like match up to Pokemon like that in terms of like level of power?
Yes, in fact he would. And Pokemon cosmology gets pretty wild. So obviously you have the main universe of the Pokemon world. This is factoring in the game's cosmology. Within that world, and then so this is all maintained by Dialga and Palkia for reference, because they are when they were born, time and space got created in the first place. So being part of Giovanni's team in Ultra Sun and Moon would scale him to Cyrus's team within the same Team Rainbow Rocket. And this also applies for the anime based on being superior to Ash, who clashed with Dialga. Basically, Pokemon cosmology gets wild. There's infinite timelines, infinite spaces, that type of nonsense. Within those are multiple different higher or lower realities, like the dream world. There's an in-between world for the dream world. What's it called? Oh my god. It's like the interdream zone, I think. That's one of the random DSiWare games that they have. That's where that takes place. Obviously you have Ultra Space, which is kind of the big bread and butter for containing everything within this single space. Recently in Legend ZA, the spoiler alert, the Mega Darkrai at the end of the game is the one maintaining countless alternate versions of the main universe that you can travel through. There's also various universes found throughout Ultra Space that you can enter through. Each of them would have their own infinite space within them. So it just stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks on each other. And Mewtwo would get the full extent of this, being able to be, surpassing Dialga and Palkia when on Giovanni's team. Especially in
like,
Mega.
it's not just one infinite, okay?
It's not.
There's a lot.
There's
like
many
5 infinites. Like,
yeah. Several. Pokemon is obsessed with making several different dimension thing every other game for some reason. I have no idea why. And they're like, yeah, we just expect this to all fit into Ultra Space somehow.
Okay. And yeah, we will show the Cell versus Metal Sonic sneak peek in just a little bit, so stay tuned for that. Liam, what are you thinking?
Yeah. Okay. So, Mega Digimon are essentially like their tier of power is explicitly because they are meant to provide balance to the digital world. Like their purpose is to essentially be like a god level character that can stop, like either create or destroy entire realities. There are so many different that I'm just going to list off right now, characters that have either destroyed or created either individual universes or threatened to destroy the digital world and the human world. We'll talk about that in just a second. Millenniummon was able to create and destroy dimensions. He was able to take a timeline and split it into an infinite set of new worlds. Pale Dramon was able to counter a blast that was destroying the entire digital world. Kabuteramon destroyed Vatamons, and this is stated to be an infinite-sized universe. Leviamon was able to, or stated to be able to, literally eat the entire universe in one gulp. He's like the Leviathan, like the mythological being that can like consume the universe in a gulp. That'd be 7.7 septillion times the speed of light if you're able to like actually eat the whole universe in one gulp. Megadramon's digital hazard was going to destroy the entire universe, or the entire digital world. That's a different thing. One Digicore of the 4 holy beasts, which are these like kind of deities, is able to maintain the balance of the entire digital world. Each holy beast has 12 of them. Machine Dramon's Infinity Cannon was able to destroy the entire digital world. Apocalypse was able to create an infinitely expanding darkness that would have reduced the digital world to nothingness. Just his mere presence was able to disrupt the space-time of both the digital world and the human world at the same time. Now, I'm using the term digital world, human world a lot. The digital world and the human world are both, the human world is a multiverse, right? It's an infinite multiverse that's based on quantum mechanics, right? Infinitely, like every decision you make creates a new branching path, which then branches off, Each universe in the human world has an equivalent in the digital world. So the digital world is also kind of spread out. They apparently, I was looking at the wiki, so this is a term that is like bandied about like by versus people, which is oftentimes like masturbatory, I feel. But the wiki explicitly
Okay.
talks about like the idea of that
The wiki.
Digimon are, yes, they're digital beings, but that's not what they literally are. I hate that I have to get into this, but Jacob was saying some shit about, higher dimensions. I go, okay, I wasn't going to mention the higher dimension stuff, but all right, I guess I have to. Like a platonic kind of thing where Digimon are like digital video game characters, but are actually like that's how they manifest to us or manifest in the digital world. There are several layers of reality higher than that. The realm of the gods is where the holy beasts, the four holy beasts reside, I believe. Each one is like infinitely above the other, like in a sense, like more real than the one below it. Again, I really did not want to talk about this stuff because I just don't think it's what is interesting about this. But yes, it is. It is. If he's going to bring up stuff like that, then I have to as well.
Well,
yeah.
if you want something fun to associate with that, one of my favorite characters in Digimon is one of those four holy beasts because he's a giant turtle with two heads, and one head has an Irish accent, and the other head has a Scottish accent, and it is fantastic.
So that turtle with the Irish head and the Scottish head is a being infinitely more powerful than you or I. His Irish accent is more real than you or I. in a sense, he is more Irish than any of us.
I feel like I've grown into a stronger being from hearing that wondrous Scottish and Irish duo.
Yeah,
incredible.
The Bonomon, yeah, he's great. I loved him so much when he popped up. He's like a world turtle, right? Is the idea. So he's massive. He's great.
Some of them are like based on mythological things, and one of them is like a puppet. He's not a four holy beast, but he's one of the bad guy team that is also universe level or multiverse level. Yeah. So essentially, if you just want to think of it as a baseline, being able to destroy the human world and digital world at the same time is multiversal, but then you have to factor in the infinite like layers of reality that are higher than that. The Apocalypse feat would be infinite speed because he's consuming an infinite size, whatever. Infinite speed, infinite higher dimensional like stuff, significantly more powerful than Mewtwo. Yeah.
All right.
So one thing that chat was talking about earlier that we really didn't touch on is like the intelligence comparatively between the two, because Django with the super chat brought up can't forget the Mewtwo built an advanced cloning lab in like a day, so technically Mewtwo is the greatest scientific mind in all of Pokemon.
Mewtwo's pretty freaking smart, all things considered.
Yeah.
Which
he built it?
Yeah,
didn't he just co-opt it from? Didn't he take it from Team Rocket?
Well, no, because remember he like blew that entire island up.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
So he blew. Like, shit, I guess I needed this.
Yeah. Okay. I guess he rebuilt it. That's right. He goes back. Okay.
Yeah.
Who made it specific? He got by Team Rocket for that purpose.
Well, theoretically,
on that island,
because Fuji was trying to resurrect his daughter, that was kind of like the whole point of it.
Perfected the cloning. Remember, the cloning didn't work for them besides Mewtwo, and the only reason it worked for Mewtwo was because Mew has an immortal life force. So,
right.
Yeah, he's smarter than big brain scientists at the very bare minimum.
I did see Jangwin mention there was an earlier super chat about how in the original Japanese version of the first movie, Mew is like telling Mewtwo to just go jump off a cliff basically the whole time. He's an asshole to him. Yeah, the original, the differences between the Japanese version and the English version are fascinating because I'm not going to say the script is that much better in the Japanese version of the first movie, but it definitely makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
Like why everything's happening.
Yeah.
Because when you really stop and like think about what's happening in the English dub of the Pokemon first movie, it's nonsense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Anyway,
I wanted to address the intelligence thing. I do think that Mewtwo, like in terms of an IQ thing, definitely from what I've seen, smarter. What's notable about Black-War Greymon's intelligence is how like just immediately after being born, he is like kicking everybody's ass and using all of his abilities and is like a master fighter and is known for being like a really powerful. He's like the Black Knight, right? Like that's his sort of character trope. He's a Black Knight. He's a master. He's like a master, a martial artist. I mean, not in terms of kung fu. I mean, just in martial arts generally.
Yeah.
The martial arts. So that I think if it's an IQ battle, Mewtwo definitely smarter. But Black War Greymon a master at fighting, which I think
I would argue the
Mewtwo's
application of the
same.
IQ is maybe not going to be as applicable, but
Yeah.
both of them were born instantly with the IQ of their original like forms / perhaps some of their creators, and went on to be tyrants turned heroes. Okay, so we got to get to this poll as well as this sneak peek. So let's go ahead and do the sneak peek first, and then we will figure out who wins between Mewtwo and Black War Greymon. So let's check out a sneak peek to Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Oh shit.
Fool, you're dealing with the ultimate life form.
Then prepare to kneel before your master.
Yeah.
All right. Cell versus Metal Sonic. So Devil Artemis is the lead animator for this episode. And just for fun, we were like, hey, do you want, like, originally he proposed he'd like to voice one of the characters. And we were like, what if you voice both of them? Because if you haven't checked out Devil Artemis's channel before, he does voice characters like Cell pretty regularly. And he had a specific voice he wanted to do for Metal Sonic. And we were like, let's just do both. It'll be great. So very excited to see this whole thing coming together. It's a pretty epic fight, right, Liam?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I was watching this being animated, and I was like, I think this might be your best work yet. I'm very, very excited for you guys to see this. It's very, very good.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Vamalator, Super Munye, and keeping up their tradition of gifting out a bunch of memberships. And Gilded, because we showed a preview. So thank you. Thank y'all.
Yeah, if you missed a little bit of that, we'll show it again at the end of the show. But let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're kind of short on time here, so let's just jump to the poll. I'll bring the poll up. Chad, what are you thinking?
I don't know. This has got why does everything get to the ridiculous multi-layered universal scaling shit? No matter what, it's just Pokemon Digimon, and we're here. I mean, I think the mind thing is pretty interesting. I mean, like, yeah, what is he gonna do if he just gets his brain erased? You know, like, I know the argument of like he's more powerful. I don't fucking know, man. This is crazy. You know what I'll do? I'll read. Lily had a really interesting argument. You ready? Lily said Mewtwo's barriers can survive. No, sorry. It was no, where'd it go? Shit. Oh yeah,
No,
sorry.
find it.
Gilded.
Find
Sorry.
it.
I'll find it. It was Gilded. Says Mega Mewtwo X's limbs can stretch. It could just keep Black War Greymon away with punches and kicks, and fighting type is super effective against Dark. All right.
Yeah,
Sorry,
making up this dark typing at the very beginning. Liam's gonna come back to haunt you.
Wait a second.
I will.
Oh wait, typing matters now.
Suddenly,
hang on.
yeah, and like if you think about it, he's got a lot of metal on him, so he's a steel type as well, which is weak to fighting. So
That's what I
that's
never
4 times
understood.
super
How the fuck is
effective.
steel weak
You
to-
have the
weak to
equivalent
fighting?
defenses of a Bastiodon. I'm sorry to say. One
Yeah.
punch away.
Anyways, should I make a final argument? Should we make final arguments?
We're
Is that
very
where
short,
to do
very
that?
quick.
Yeah. Much stronger. I mean, take a step back from all of the like higher dimensional bullshit. Black War Greymon Mega level Digimon are much stronger than characters like Mewtwo. Like Mewtwo is a very powerful legendary Pokemon. He is not destroying the multiverse. And that stuff does not require interpretation. It is explicit in the whole. It's the whole point of Digimon. These
Okay,
characters.
and Jacob, really quick as well.
Pokemon cosmology matches immeasurable speed, which would be higher than Liam stating infinite speed. I know it's stupid semantic wording. I hate it too. And then just
immeasurable
ludicrous
too.
amounts of abilities to just put down Blackboard Greymon in various ways, like petrification, stopping time, sending him to another dimension. Just making him a puppet through mind control and whatnot. And various other things I have not mentioned.
Yeah. No, Mewtwo's got a ton of powers. Again, I think a lot of this comes down to who ultimately gets that power sort of edge, right? And is able to overwhelm the other and get those extra abilities, especially if it's Mewtwo who's able to do it. Mewtwo just has so many options that could take Greymon out, assuming he can get past that power difference. Which is why I'm kind of leaning towards Mewtwo, but I don't know. I'm also it's very up in the air for me. And the poll is very close. So I'm gonna wrap up the poll here in 3, 2, 1 with
I was gonna say you can do that, but Ben, I have a great super chat from earlier that I think is pretty interesting. So
I just wrapped up the poll. So
right,
what is it?
Yeah.
Well, Rosa said the
Chad.
Blackboard
Nice
Greymon from
try.
Adventure was made 100% of virus data that existed for mind control, and it broke free from it to become sentient.
Oh, good. Never mind. Thank you, Chad, for helping me out there. I thought you were trying to fuck me at the last second.
I was not.
Thank you for cutting the poll, because that could have made it a lot worse for me, I guess. Pending.
But that again, going back to the idea that he was like manipulating the environment because he was a virus, right? So Black War Greymon, according to you guys, with 55% of the vote, Black War Greymon takes this. I think if we were to approach it as like a full death battle, I don't know if it would actually turn out that way. I feel like there's a lot of questions and like additional pieces of information that we just didn't have time to cover here that could make this for a really interesting episode. I love this matchup. I would love to do this as a death battle.
For sure.
And
that'd be awesome.
I always love bringing Digimon into death battle, right? It's just such a fun series to explore with the sort of the death battle like approach. And there's just I will say it as many times as I can. Marcus from oh my god, what the fuck is the season? I can't remember the season name, but Marcus he's a Digimon tamer. He's got an Agumon, and the way he digivolves his Agumon is he punches the other monster. Right. Not Agumon, Marcus, the guy, the human being. I would love to talk about characters like that in Death Battle. Anyway, Data Squad, is that what it's called? Anyway, regardless. Okay, so there is one other question, I think, that is very important to answer. There is one more poll that we have to decide. Let me get it up. It is: whose story is more tragic? This is really what it's about, right? This is really the question. Whose story is more tragic? Please tell us. Jacob, why is Mewtwo more tragic?
Well, all the best friends he ever knew got killed right in front of him, and then he was forced to not remember it, which left him with anguish forever. Mew, and then if you count in the Japanese stuff, we mentioned Mew just being like, you should like not exist. You have no right to exist. What the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid idiot? And yeah, Mewtwo's whole purpose is just to realize that he is worth living something and that he should exist.
Liam, why is Black War Greymon's story tragic?
I think Mewtwo's story is more tragic because after everything Jacob says, he also gets his ass kicked by Black War Greymon. Oh! What's your purpose? Getting fucking your ass handed to you by me.
Oh no!
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I did kind of expect the poll to be a little worse, just because people typically see Digimon as superior. So I'm gonna pat myself on the back like the Obama medal.
All right. Well, with that, we'll wrap things up here. We'll show the sneak peek one more time in just a second. But thank you all for joining us for another Death Battle cast. Again, if you have not checked out the new video on the Nightly Brew, go check out that channel. Stick around. We're about to jump over to Champion Cast, where Chad will show off the scariest piece of Pikachu merchandise he's ever found, I guess. If you just continue watching, you will automatically be moved over into Champion Cast, assuming you are a member of the YouTube channel. And that's it. All right, let's play that one. Let's play that sneak peek one more time. Thank you all so much.
fool. You're dealing with the ultimate life form.
Then prepare to kneel before your master.